and then add the word admin. It is her website, isn't it? Is it her website? I hit the enter key. A login page presents itself with empty username and password fields waiting to be filled in. What? My fingers tap dance around the keyboard, and within moments I presented with a brand new page. A blinking slab of text greets me. One new request. What? Hold on a second. A crooked smile cracks my stony expression. Oh my god, it is her site. Konnichiwa, minasan, Kazu desu. Welcome back to Corpse Factory. Thanks for joining me. Let's continue. Tsuzukimashou. Alright, so this is chapter 1. So this is Kurosawa. What happened last time was we were playing someone else. I don't think that was the main character because she died. Spoilers, right? There's this website called Corpse Girl, where you put in the information of someone you want dead, and then they receive a photo of their dead bodies moments before they die. And this is what happens 3 weeks earlier. Let's see what happens. I've always liked the shape of my eyes. I can be critical about other parts of my body, but I'll never complain about my eyes. With or without makeup, I think they look great. Mother used to tell me I inherited her eyes, and my big sister inherited her father's eyes. To be honest, I don't see any of my father's features in myself or my sister, but I do agree that my eyes are exactly replicas of mother's. Mother doesn't seem too well anymore, and that might be something I have to also worry about in the future. But for now, my eyes are perfect, and I couldn't be happier with them. I wear eyeshadow and eyeliner to bring out my best features. Some people tell me I use too much makeup, that I tend to overdo it and make myself look intimidating. Well, I don't really care. I mostly like the way I look. And honestly, how many people can claim the same? Today's morning ritual is the same as any other workday. I'm a slave to the wage and I'm not proud of it. Call me a corporate sellout, but I can't survive without money. My alarm goes off at 6 a.m. The shower is running by 6:05 and I'm dry and dressed by 6:15. I skip breakfast because I'm washing my figure and spend until 6:30 a.m. working on my makeup. I'm out of my cramped shoebox apartment by 6:45 a.m. Sometimes I catch my neighbor returning home from his overnight shift, and if so, I exchange simple pleasantries with him and continue on my way. Today there's no sign of my neighbor, so I don't slow down as I descend the stairs and exit the building. Hitting the convenience store for a can of coffee saps another few minutes from each day. I prefer sweet milk coffees, but every now and then I'm in the mood for rich black coffee. Regardless, I never start the day without it. I don't always need the energy boost, but it helps to stop my stomach growling. It's a milk coffee kind of day, so I pay for my favorite brand and get out of the store in no time. The canned coffee dives into my handbag as I continue on my way. The train station is always busy in the morning, and it's usually a struggle to navigate my way to the correct platform in the time for the 7:12 a.m. train. Today is no different. However, I always make it in time because my routine has been perfected over the last few months. I board the train bound for Shinjuku. A cursory glance reveals there are no empty seats, so I push through the throng of bodies and stand against the carriage wall. Whenever there are seats available, I like to sit and read, but it's much more common to have stand and stare at my phone screen like almost everyone else. When I do read, I read the classics. Stoker, Lovecraft, Poe, horror, Western horror at that, is my favorite genre. And of course, faithful translations into Japanese are as good as it gets. My English isn't nearly strong enough to read these novels in their original language. If I'm stuck staring at my phone screen, I like to stalk people online. Acquaintances or the few friends I have lead such boring lives. They post about the most mundane topics all day every day, acting like they shriveled up and die unless they get the attention they seek. I find their dull, tedious lives simply fascinating. From behind the safety of a glass veil, I can fulfill my voyeuristic fetishes and consume as much pointless information as I desire. Knowing every mundane tidbit of people's daily life turns me on. This morning is the same as any other. I stare down the phone held in my frail hand. My fingers move on their own accord, scrolling and tapping against the backlit display, pausing, pondering, pouncing on any post or picture that my pupils haven't yet consumed. Standing in the train carriage, packed to the gills with people, I can't help but feel my face getting flushed and my steamy breath escaping my lips. I digest post after post, photo after photo, memorizing the comings and goings of every single person on my noise activity feed. I catch my breathing getting heavier, my gasp becoming short and sharp. Rie went to dentist yesterday for a root canal. Mizuno shared some photos from her international vacation. Kawahara objects to owning pets and thinks all animals should be free. My cheeks glow crimson, my chest begins rising and falling quickly. I clutch the collar of my shirt, knuckles whitening, knees shaking. A few people in the carriage start to move away from me, but I barely notice them. What is happening to her? My fingers keep scrolling and I hit the jackpot. A new post from a coworker in my office, Tomoe Watanabe. She's a gal girl, the type with a heavy fake tan, bleached blonde hair, and questionable clothes. I hate her, but I love her posts. This morning's updates read, Tomomo just found this corpse girl website. Oh my god, she did find it first. Such fake bull. Waiting to meet a bitch to try it on. What? Tomoe just discovered Corpse Girl's website, huh? I feel a slight squeal trying to escape from my throat as my legs threaten to buckle underneath me. I can't take the assignment anymore. I had to force my phone from my hands and bury it at the bottom of my handbag. Deep breaths, Nordico, deep breaths. I need to calm down and control myself. Composure is the key. I close my eyes and let a cool breath of air whistle through my slightly parted lips. Feeling a little calmer and no longer ready to explode, I analyze the information I just read. Tomoe wants to try out Corpse Girl's website. That's good. That's very, very good. Oh shit! Does she run the website or something? What is going on? Rumor has it that you can visit the website and request death of somebody you know. How and if the victim dies isn't known to the public. Because of that, some people are pretty quick to dismiss the site as a hoax. However, the most interesting part isn't how or if the victim dies, but rather what happens to the victim before they die. Supposedly, the victim will receive a photo of their own corpse. How this photo exists before the victim's life is snuffed out isn't public knowledge. But the thought of this phenomenon occurring is utterly intriguing. Nevertheless, the site has been gaining popularity lately, at least in certain corners of the internet. Message boards like Noise Channel and other similar sites have picked up on the rumors and the like to exaggerate the website's authenticity. The fact that someone like Tomoe, a rather dense, dim-witted individual, has discovered the website means that it's actually more well-known than I previously thought. It means that people are actually talking about it outside of the internet. Chances are good that Tomoe will want to try it out and request the death of someone in the office, a co-worker. Me, perhaps. She hates my guts as much as I hate hers. Finally, something exciting is going to happen in our dull workplace.
The next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Chuo line, the Shonan Shinjuku line, the Saikyo line.
As the automated announcement reads through a list of connecting train lines, I get ready to disembark. The train pulls to a stop and I contort my body around other passengers in an attempt to exit the train. Finally free from a tangled mass of flesh, I hasten my pace and navigate through the labyrinth station. I take the exit closest to my office and settle into a slower walk. I'm on time, and I never decide to reach the office any earlier than needed. Wait, this is someone different. Who am I talking? This is someone different, isn't it? It doesn't take long for the looming office tower to enter my field of vision. 32 stories of office space all crammed into one sleek, slim tower. The name Temujin is stamped across the structure in gigantic block letters. If you're looking for this building in Shinjuku, you can't possibly miss it. Temujin carries the title of Japan's third biggest banking corporation. It's a gigantic company with other branches in Kyoto, Osaka, Sapporo, Fukuoka, and a dozen smaller cities I don't even remember. I've worked here for close to 3 months now, not a long time in the grand scheme of things. That said, I'm only a temp, and all I do is data entry. I work on the 14th floor along with about 60 other junior employees, including a gal girl, Tomoe Watanabe. I don't speak to many of my coworkers. That's the way I like it. When I reach the building, I enter through the giant double sliding doors and find myself in a familiar lobby. Comfortable couches line the walls circling a reception desk. 4 large elevators are tucked away in a nook behind the reception desk. It's already busy this morning, though to be fair, this place is packed all the time. I avoid the crowds of sharply dressed business people, feeling a little out of place in my semi-formal shirt and skirt. Ducking into the newly opened elevator, I tap my employee ID card to the backlit panel and press the button for my floor. The doors close and the elevator begins its smooth ascent. I'm surprised to find that I'm the only one traveling up. I reach my floor and listen to the soothing chime as the doors open, revealing the open layout office before me. Static drone of workspace noise fills my ears. Conversations, ringing phones, fingers tapping against keyboards, photocopiers, even the steady, low hum of the air conditioner contributes to the overall din. I make my way to my desk, stationed in the middle of the floor, and surrounded by a dozen other identical desks. As I walk, somebody taps me on the shoulder gently.
Good morning, Kurosawa.
Ah, Shinya Fujikawa, my senior, though he's really only a couple months older than me. He's worked here for a whole year after taking an internship straight out of senior high school. He's not an intern anymore, though I'm not quite sure of his job title.
Morning, Fujikawa.
How was your commute this morning?
Fine, same as usual.
Wait, is this the same person? They have the same name, right? Noriko, right? Kurosawa, right? Is it not? Was it different character kind of look like? I don't know, man.
That's good to hear. Did you read any of your novels?
What? He's referring to the horror books I like to read. I can tell from his tone that he doesn't exactly approve of the subject matter. I've known Shinya since junior high. We go way back, but I wouldn't exactly call us friends. However, he is the one that landed me this job, even though it's just a temporary contract. I've always had the feeling that he's a bit sweet on me. I could be way off my mark though.
Well, I couldn't get a seat on the train today. Too hard to read while standing.
Ah, that's a shame. You, still haven't accepted my, friend request, did you know?
I have to fight the urge to roll my eyes. He's a nice guy, but we were connected on Noise once before and I had to delete him. He's super obsessed with his father's detective work, and all he ever posts about is his assumptions and theories on petty crime cases. Normally, I find anyone on my friends list fascinating, but here's the thing, Shinya never posts about his personal life. All he writes are long-winded rants on boring cases. It's far beyond the amount of dullness even I can stand. I fish my phone out of my handbag and pretend that I'm looking at Noise.
Oh, how about that? Looks like I don't have any incoming friend requests.
I quickly dip my phone back into my bag.
How peculiar. Well, I'll try and nudge again later.
Sure, no problem.
Well, anyway, I better get to it. Work hard today, okay?
You got it.
Senior officer forms a bow and goes on his way. Before I can take a step towards my desk, a mocking voice whispers in my ear.
Ugh. How long are you gonna lead on sweet little Shinya?
Okay, this is Tomoe. I shiver and find Tomoe Watanabe lurking right behind me, buzzing around my neck like an irritating mosquito.
That poor boy really has the hots for ya. When are you gonna tell him you're a cold-hearted psycho?
Listen, I'm not leading him on, and I'm no psycho.
Huh. Sounds like something a real psycho type would say, don't you reckon?
Of course, this is none other than Gal Girl Tomoe, the very same brain-dead moron who posted this morning about wanting to try Corpse Girl's website. She's the kind of person that likes to stir up trouble and instigate conflict. She has her vacant eyes on me since the day I first stepped into the office. She loves to torment me any chance she gets. Maybe I rubbed her the wrong way somehow, though I'm not sure whatever I did to her. Even though she's a data entry temp like me, she's worked here just a little longer than I have. Unfortunately, that means I have to defer to her as my superior in this professional environment. She knows as much and likes to take advantage of the fact as often as possible.
It's funny, you know. You don't look like the type of skank to lead on a goody-goody like Shinya.
I told you, I'm not leading him on.
Well, if you're not interested, maybe I'll take him out this weekend and tongue him at the cinema.
Gross. Do what you want, but I doubt he's into someone with your, looks.
Oh yeah? What would you know? You think he likes your flat chest, little Miss Gothic Lolita?
I know I should shrug off comments such as this, and normally I would. But backing down from Tomoe isn't something I can do easily.
I'll give you a tip. Guys like Shinya are smart. Clever.
Ooh.
If you want to impress him, don't let him know your head is as full of air as your inflatable breasts.
Oh my god, shots fired. A flash of crimson lights up Tomoe's face and she looks ready to lash out at me. A group of co-workers, juniors like us, look over to us in concern. Tomoe takes a step back from me, but not before signaling a rude gestures with her fingers.
We ain't done here, Noriko. Watch your back.
I'm trembling.
Okay. Tomoe walks away and I breathe a sigh of relief. If it wasn't for having to deal with her, I wouldn't dread coming to work every day. Anyway, I wonder when she's planning to test out Corpse Girl's website. Will she try it on me since we just fought? I'm not really sure if I should be excited or scared. Either way, it will definitely be fun to find out what happens if she does try the website. I finally reached my desk and take note of the time. I was supposed to start working 5 minutes ago, so I quickly log into my computer and check today's task list. It's all standard stuff today. I need to transfer a few tables of numbers from a spreadsheet into my company's online database. When I'm done, I have to run it by a few other people and then commit the changes to the server. The work is dull and repetitive, but my salary isn't bad. On the plus side, I get to wear headphones and listen to music while I work. I dip into my handbag and retrieve my headphones, my phone, a can of milk coffee, and a handful of breath mints. I lay them all out on my desk neatly. I slip my headphones on, plug them into my phone, and hit play on my work playlist. Loud, symphonic metal lovingly thrashes my ears as I crack open a can of coffee and take a long sip.
Okay, let's get started.
Okay. I return home to my quiet, cramped apartment after work. The place is eerily silent, a stark contrast to the bustling office where I spend my days. Throwing my handbag onto the tiny coffee table, I picked up my laptop and sit on the couch. I lie back and get comfortable, letting the laptop rest on my stomach as it boots up. The welcome screen loads up, so I click a couple times, open my web browser, and then head to a very specific website saved in my favorites. Is this Corpse Girl? Oh shit! Corpse Girl's website. A cute, dancing zombie girl is animated at the top of the page, a peculiar irregularity that always makes me giggle. I noticed the page view counter at the bottom of the site is nearly the same as it was yesterday. There have been maybe 4 or 5 new visitors. I heave a sigh, maybe the website isn't quite that well known after all. That begs the question, how did Tomoe discover it? Well, never mind that. My eye scans the website's content. Request a death, big, bold letters headline the site. The intention couldn't be clearer. Further information on the site is sparse. Brief instructions tell the user to fill in a victim's phone number and upload a photo. Aside from that, there's not much else to mention. It doesn't even ask for a name. After scanning the site, I move my mouse to the browser's address bar and click. I type a / after the website's address, and then add the word admin. It is her website, isn't it? Is it her website? I hit the enter key. A login page presents itself with empty username and password fields waiting to be filled in. What? My fingers tap dance around the keyboard, and within moments I presented with a brand new page. A blinking slap of text greets me. One new request. What? Hold on a second. A crooked smile cracks my stony expression. Oh my god, it is her site. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit, this is interesting. Finally! Someone has requested a death. Somebody has asked me, Corpse Girl, to kill a victim. This is where things get interesting. Oh god, I giggle and feel my cheeks flush red. That's why she was flustered in the train this morning. Oh my god, this is the first request I've had for about a week. I've been logging in every evening, fingers crossed that somebody has elected a new victim for me. How is she gonna do it? Oh, let's find out, man. Today, my wish has come true. I can't help but feel emotional at a time like this. My lower lips trembles and feel tears welling up. I dab the corners of my eyes gently to avoid smudging my makeup. As I hover my mouse cursor over the view request button, a familiar and pleasant tingling sensation surges in my chest, my stomach, my thighs. I shiver with anticipation, my hot and steamy breath beginning to fog up the laptop screen. Holy shit, she's a psycho. I clicked the button. This is exciting, man. Request details. Today, 2:47 p.m. Victim's phone. Downloading image attachment. Who is it? Who is this? The victim's photo automatically loads on my screen. The person in front of me is a total stranger, but that's okay. It doesn't change the task set out before me. A woman, rather plain in her early 30s, she's well dressed with minimal makeup, and she's not really putting her personality on display. It's a nice photo, better quality than some of the images I've received in the past. In fact, the photo looks like a corporate ID picture. I wonder if it was downloaded from a company's database or website. Well, the source of the photo doesn't matter. The simple fact of the matter is that somebody has made a request for this person to die. It falls to me to fulfill that request, and as corpse girl, I take requests very, very seriously. Oh my god. I have the victim's photo, and I have her phone number. All I need now is to select a way for her to meet her untimely demise. How? I previously thought about including an extra field on my website, an option for the user to choose the way they want their victim to die. After all, it would reduce the amount of strain on my creativity if the method was decided for me. But after careful consideration, I decided against it. Some people are sick, twisted. The cause of death could be far beyond my means and impossible to achieve. How did you do it? How are you going to do it? Oh my god. This is so interesting. Therefore, allowing the user to define the cause of death just isn't feasible. Instead, I'll stick to my current modus operandi. Everything depends on the quality of the victim's photo. If it's detailed and the victim's features are easy, distinguishable, then I can be rather creative with the cause of death. Perhaps the victim's face suffers grotesque burns, or she has an iron stake thrust through her skull. However, the victim's photo is low quality and doesn't provide enough detail to identify a subject. I have to resort to the default cause of death. A terrible, unlucky fall from a great height. Maybe she slips, or maybe someone stumbles into her and sends her tumbling over a rail. The end result would be the same, a swift, crushing death from on high. The victim will end up face down on the concrete, completely unrecognizable, save for her clothes and accessories. It's not my favorite cause of death, but in some cases, it is necessary. Regardless, it is still a valid way to fulfill the request. For now, it's time to get started. Oh my god, I can barely contain my excitement. Neither can I, dude. Why is that? I squirm against the couch, crossing my uncrossing legs in a vain attempt to dissipate the heat rising through my body. Taking a deep breath, I try to calm my nerves and get to work. How are you gonna do it? The victims will receive a photo of her own corpse, time-stamped with the date of her death. It's corpse girl's signature move, my calling card, if you will. Seeing an image of one's own disfigured corpse is sure to strike fear into one's heart. And that's precisely the reason I take the step, to make the victim panic and act rashly. What? First things first, I save the victim's photo to my laptop's hard drive. I store it in a folder discreetly named System Files, hidden away in the root directory of my operating system. A password encrypted directory, of course. Next, I open up my favorite image editing software and load the Are you gonna Photoshop this? Holy shit! Looking carefully at the detail in the picture, I can see that this will be a work of art. I can really go to town with this request. I minimize the software, open my web browser, and access a particular website. What? The database of the deceased, the DD, as is known on the dark web, my secret weapon, the ultimate resource for my work. The DD is the collection of countless high-resolution photographs of dead bodies. Murder victims, crime scenes, suicides. If somebody has died in one way or another, chances are good that some perverted individual has captured the moment in all its glory. Such valuable images are essential to my work. Using these photos as a base, I can edit my victim's details in the picture. Hold on a second. So wait, what? There was a corpse there though. Like there was a corpse like right in front of her. There was like two person. Or was that like a hallucination maybe? I don't know. What is going on? My process is simple. I start by locating the perfect corpse photo. I search the database, and in less than 2 minutes, I discover a disgustingly detailed photo of a woman with her entrails spilling out from her stomach. Her face is blue, having suffocated before having a chance to bleed to death. She's about the same age as my victim. She's of a similar height and build. Finding a photo that specifically suits my victim's features is easy thanks to Diddy's excellent catalog of tags and filters. I simply search for keywords that match my victim's description and find a corpse that fits. Using this photo as a starting point, I digitally edit my victim's face onto the body. It's not some quick job that even a child can do, it's a painstakingly crafted work of art that would fool even the keenest eye. An hour passes, then 2, then 3. Before I know it, midnight has come and gone, but the work is nearing completion. All that remains is to add the final touches. I like to add specific distinguishable details to the image. A personal item or accessory, clothes, makeup, you name it, I can edit it in. With personal details added, I adjust the lighting and color palette just slightly enough to make the photo truly unique. If the victim decides to reverse image search the photo and discover that it's a forgery, all my work will be for naught. Holy shit. Holy shit. And with that, the masterpiece is complete. A grisly, gruesome, gratuitously gory gift for the soon-to-be departed. The victim received this photo of a corpse that is, for all intents and purposes, a perfect replica of her own physical form. She will open the image on her phone, and the life she once knew will crumble to pieces. My lips curl into a satisfied smirk. During my hours of work, my breathing eventually steadied. My excited nerves settled into a zen-like calm. But, seeing the finished art piece now, I begin to feel my heart pounding once more. The macabre vision before me is exhilarating. Adrenaline and dopamine surge throughout my body, giving me a sudden head rush of bliss. To say that I'm attracted to the sight of blood and guts would be misleading. No, I'm not into that at all. The excitement stems from the thought of taking control of somebody else's life, dictating their future, controlling their fates. For with the creation of this image, I have taken the victim's life into my own hands, like a puppet master pulling the strings of a marionette. By forging this convincing creation, I will compel the victim to take her own life. Oh my god. That's right, my own hands needs not be stained. The hands of corpse girl have never been dirty with the blood of a victim. This is the true nature of my work. Carefully crafting corpse photos is in such a way to convince the victim that their fate is already sealed, that no matter what they do, they cannot escape the death that waits them. Oh my god. And the date stamp on the photo is the icing on the cake, the ultimate driving force behind the victim choosing to end their own life. A date so near in the future, a time that has not yet occurred, a fiber of uncertainty carefully interwoven into the image that causes the victim to pause and consider the possibilities. Is this photo from the future? Is this truly my fate? How can I outrun a future that has been pre-decided? These are the thoughts that run through a victim's mind. Despair and dread flush the senses. Overwhelming anxiety gives way to calm acceptance. This is my dead body. This is how I die. Why should I fight it? And when the victim's last vestige of resistance gently breaks, like a silk spider web being torn by a cool breeze, they finally give in. They invite their end. This is the way it will go down for this woman, this complete and total stranger. I'm confident, certain, convinced. Oh my god. It was a sudden spark of inspiration that guided me to begin fabricating corpse photos about a year ago. I can never quite recall exactly what it was that spawned the idea. Sometimes I get close to remembering, but the recollection dances at the edge of my mind and slips back into the darkness. Regardless, I ventured down a dark and dangerous path. I built Corpse Girl's website and invited strangers to request the deaths of people they knew. It was a sales tactic, simply a way to encourage users to submit images. I had no intentions or means of ending lives. Little did I know of the true power I wielded. I only intended to create corpse photos and send them to people for fun. I wanted to startle and scare some unsuspecting fools. It would be a lie to claim that I didn't get off on it. The thought of people shrieking in fear at the sight of their own corpse was more than delicious. It sated my budding lust. It filled a dark hole in the depths of my soul and gave me purpose. Never in a million years did I dream that one of my corpse photos would result in the death of another human being. Who is this? I'll never forget her name, Ruri Hatano. 20-something, slim, gorgeous, eyes that took my breath away the moment I gazed upon her portrait. She was the first person to make me feel bad about crafting hoax photos, the only person to make me feel bad about it. But I did it anyway. Corpse Girl never rejects a request. It's her, my conviction. I forged a beautiful rendition of her death. Thanks to some rather macabre source photos obtained via the database of the deceased, I strung Rudy's corpse up in a field like a ghoulish scarecrow. The photo was incredible. It was my 5th or 6th work, the 5th or 6th time a user of Corpse Girl's website requested a death. Ruri Hatano died just hours receiving the photo. I don't know why. I don't know if she killed herself or if someone murdered her. But I know one thing. Ruri Hatano's body, her real body, was found in a field, hanging like a scarecrow, surrounded by crows. Her eyes had been gouged out of her skull, and her stiff fingers clutched her phone tightly. According to a news report, her phone displayed a familiar image, the very image I created of her corpse. When I first learned of Rudy's death, I was overcome with varying emotions. I felt sick, elated, disgusted, overjoyed, depressed, aroused. Had I somehow caused her death? Was Corpse Girl responsible for taking a life? Even though my hands weren't stained with blood, I still felt responsible. A lurid truth descended upon me at that moment. Corpse Girl had the power to end lives, and the more I dwelled on that fact, the more obvious it became to me. I began to feel the power pulsing through my veins, thrumming in my blood as my heart pumped and pounded within my chest. I can't explain how the power works, and I don't know why I have it. But somehow, the corpse photo I create can compel a victim to end their own life, or compel someone else to end it for them. Rudy died in the way I envisioned. Her body matched the fake corpse photo I painstakingly crafted. And I didn't even have to leave the safety and comfort of my apartment to ensure her death. Corpse Girl's power is real, extraordinary, and I vow to exercise that power as frequently as possible. Ruri Hatano died last year. Since then, I've been chasing that rush, that thrill that comes with snuffing out a soul. It wasn't hard to grow the popularity of Corpse Girl's website after that incident. Particularly dark corners of the internet gobbled up the news with enthusiasm, and the site saw an influx of new visitors. And, on a few occasions, I even overheard people in the real world whispering about the mysterious website that lets you request a death. I crafted a corpse photo for dozens of requests. Each photo is more convincing and realistic than the last, thanks to my ever-evolving skills. But none of my recent attempts have been successful. Not a single person has dropped dead since Ruri Hatano. I'm beginning to wonder if Corpse Girl's power has fizzled out. Or perhaps I never have any power to begin with. Maybe Rudy's death was simply a fluke, a morbid coincidence. I spent countless hours doubting myself, doubting Corpse Girl. I tried so hard to replicate that one success. Every time I receive a request, I do the same thing as I did in Ruri Hatano's case. I'd edit the photo of the victim. I created a convincing corpse photo, and I timestamped it with the time of death. I send the photo to the victim, and then I leave the rest up to fate. But nothing ever comes of it. I'm not so delusional to think that in normal circumstances, a simple photo would be enough to convince someone to kill themselves. And even if that photo fell into someone else's hand, it wouldn't inspire them to go out and kill the victim. Of course not. However, there are no ordinary circumstances. I once activated a power beyond the ken of mortal men. I caused Ruri Hatano to die by her own hand, or by the hand of another. I need to find a way to manifest my power once more, prove that I, Corpse Girl, have the power of death and destruction at my fingertips. Once a new victim perishes, I know it will pave the way to more and more deaths. My website will gain popularity and become more than just an urban myth. People will live their lives in fear, forever wondering if Corpse Girl is lurking behind the next text message they receive. Yes, I can see the future I crave so clearly in my mind. I'm close to achieving my goal. I know I am. And when my dream comes true, I can finally Finally what? Finally what? What? Finally what? Oh my god. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna end this here for today. That was really, really interesting. Oh my god. I thought the killings were more occult-like, you know, like more like mysterious, but I guess they just took their own life, I guess, and it only worked once, right, on Rui Hatano's, right? So oh my god. And then the second one was the one in the beginning, I guess, right? I was not expecting that. Oh my god. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Mata ne.